Welcome to the Musa video blog. This past week, actually this past Shabbos, I was in Toronto, and it was for an ufruf, and without getting into all the details, but they asked me to speak, and I spoke. And afterwards, someone made a comment that what I had said was memorable. And a good friend of mine was standing there, and he said back to the person, "It's memorable, but it's also forgettable." I said, wow, that's a great line. I'm going to make it into a Musa video blog. What was he saying? He's saying something that the Mesilas Yesharim, Path of the Just, tells us in his introduction. That sometime you can get an inspiration, an epiphany, something becomes so true to you, it's so clear, you have it. And yet, if you don't keep reviewing it and keeping it alive, you could forget it. It could be the most important message. You got it, oh, it's so clear, I really got it. And then that moment of truth comes when you have to pull out that important idea and you have to act on it or hold back from doing the negative behavior or whatever it is. And then you completely forgot about it. And afterwards you say, wait a minute, I forgot all about that. I shouldn't have done what I did. Or I should have done something that I didn't do, or whatever it is. This is an important point. Mesilas Yesharim makes it in his introduction, that there's so many things that are so true to us that we know with a clarity, an intellectual clarity that is, that this is the way it is, this is so true. Yet, because of that, we put it into the deep recesses of our mind and store it away over there as a truth. But in actual, everyday life experiences, it's way back there, and we're not acting upon it. If someone would ask us, we say, of course, yeah, that's clear, that's. But unless it's in the forefront, it just stays there as an idea and doesn't become a reality. It's not actualized in my behavior. So what are you supposed to do about it? Well, Mesilas Yesharim himself tells us, constantly reviewing it, making sure that it stays over here, right in the front, right in my active memory. So let's just take for an example, the last 3 weeks on our video blog, we've been talking about the idea of responding as opposed to reacting. And last week we spoke about the idea of a pause, a breath, just to make that little space, to not respond so quickly, just pause and say. So, great idea. People have already told me they've started using it and it was very effective. But we have to make sure we keep it alive. How do we do that? Well, just for example, what we could do is have certain points in the day where we say to ourselves, am I doing this? I should be doing this. If we could do that a few times a day, that would be great. Before we go to sleep, if we just take a moment and think about, yeah, this is something I should be doing. And the constant repetition of the idea, and maybe even articulating it, and if you're someone who journals, maybe even writing it, but by keeping it ever present, we will find ourselves doing it. And this goes for anything. When you have a thought, a Musa thought that rings true, keep it alive. Talk about it, review it, write it, have times during the day when you bring it to the forefront. And that way, we will keep it alive. And it won't just be memorable but forgettable, but it'll be memorable, and we will act upon that. See you next time.